Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's go.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, so yes, hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I am Melanie from the Blockchain Game Alliance, and I wanted to take this session to look at the industry report that we compiled last year, which looks at the current challenges in the industry and a little bit of a view of 2024 and what we might be able to expect to see. You can go to the next slide. Okay, so yes, as I just mentioned, we're going to explore the current state of the industry, outline some of the challenges and solutions present in blockchain gaming, and discuss findings in a Q&A where you can ask me any questions. Just a little bit about me. I'm Melanie. I'm the content manager at Blockchain Game Alliance, and I work with a lot of the members to produce content to look at the challenges, the solutions, and the technology that they're working on. You can go to the next one. Thank you. And just a little bit about the Blockchain Game Alliance to give you an idea of who we are. We are a non-profit organization who works with a number of actors within the Web3 gaming ecosystem. And the idea is to help them to come together within the alliance, to collaborate, to give visibility, and also to discuss the challenges, as is mainly my role, and look at how we can work together for the future. The initial aim of the Blockchain Game Alliance was to create this space because we are committed to promoting blockchain and advancing the technology, raising awareness of the technology within the game industry. So, to bring us on to the annual report, every year, or for the past 3 years, we've been compiling the BGA State of the Industry report. The idea of the report is to take the pulse of the industry and set objectives for us as an organization for the year ahead. The method we use is a survey, and it's an industry-wide survey. So we normally start at the end of August, and we send this out to as many players within the Web3 ecosystem. And this can span from everyone to game developers themselves, publishers, NFT marketplaces, IP lawyers. So it really spans the entire ecosystem as well as the traditional gaming industry. And we take as many surveys as we can. This year we gathered over 500, which is our biggest survey to date, and we compile all of that information into the industry report. So if we go to the next slide, I will share with you the key findings for this year. Great, and I will just go through each individual section. So the demographics, for example, really interesting to see that 79% or nearly 80% of the industry believe that they will continue working in the industry over the next year. And this is particularly enthusiastic and positive because of the year that we've had in 2023. It's not been a great year for crypto, but yet people are still remaining positive about the future of Web3 gaming. So that was really encouraging. Also that many of these employees or projects receive payment in crypto or stable coin, which is great to see that the industry is following suit of the ecosystem that we're in. And one of the not so great findings was that only 16.9% of participation was female, something that obviously working in the tech industry is fairly common, something that the Blockchain Game Alliance is working on because we want to be representative of all our members. But a statistic to note for the future year and to set objectives about how we want to see women, and not just women, diversity, inclusion within the Web3 and Web3 gaming ecosystem. Industry drivers, and I'll break these down a little bit more in the coming slides, but I just want to give you the snapshot, and please feel free to stop me if you have any questions about any of this. So coming to the drivers, which is the next section, asset ownership is still recognized as the top benefit. 76.2% recognize. And this is great because, this is one of the core pillars of Web3 gaming, and great to see that it's recognized across the gaming industry as well as the Web3 ecosystem as one of the primary benefits of blockchain gaming. And then looking on to what we see as industry drivers in terms of traditional gaming studios, and 37.8% of the survey felt that Web3 game studios would be the ones to drive the industry forward. And we are seeing that. We've seen quite a lot of traditional gaming studios in 2023 start or make plans to incorporate Web3 in one way or another, whether it's through NFTs, whether it's through in-game economy, and we've seen that with Square Enix, Bandai Namco. I know Konami are on the verges, and Sega. So also, and Ubisoft also. So it will be interesting to see how this drives the industry forward, especially in terms of mass adoption, which we'll look at in a minute as one of the big challenges in Web3 gaming. And again, on top of the Web2 studios driving the industry forward, 52% expect that at least 20% of the gaming industry will adopt blockchain within the next 12 months. I think pretty ambitious, but also really awesome to see that there is that belief that Web2 gaming studios will also incorporate Web3 as time goes on. Okay, just to look at the challenges, which I think is probably the most useful thing to unpack at this point in the year, is onboarding as one of the primary issues for the industry, something that hasn't really changed for the last year or so, I would say. 70% battle the misconception of blockchain gaming as a scam. And that's something that I think the whole industry is working on. We at BGA are also working on educating, raising awareness, and dispelling the misconceptions that people have around crypto, blockchain, and anything within the industry. And as I mentioned earlier, 35% indicate that user acquisition is a pressing challenge for blockchain games. And we'll go into that just a little bit more in a second in the next slide. Thank you, Fred. Yes, as I mentioned, so why blockchain gaming? I think it's a pretty no-brainer for us in the industry that asset ownership is a fantastic benefit of Web3 games. And that is seen as the key driver and has been in our report in 2023 and the previous years as well. The other topics that came up of why blockchain gaming was new revenue models and player reward models. And obviously these are new models that can be innovated through Web3. And this can be whether in-game tokens, secondary markets and trading, and also user-generated content, which can be seen across new revenue models. And I think something we'll see more of in the year ahead. Thank you. Let's go to the next slide. Yes, industry challenges, as I mentioned, onboarding challenges. This is something that we've discussed a lot in the previous year with our members. There's still a lot of friction to entry. This is changing quite a lot. There are new solutions being developed. The technology is moving forward. We're not quite there yet. And there is a debate between hiding the blockchain technology under the hood and educating people on blockchain technology. And I think this will depend on the types of projects and, the focus that they take of where this will go. Another point that came up in 2021, which has died down but is floating about quite a lot now, is regulatory uncertainty. And I think because of all the things that we've seen in 2023 with FTX crashing and Terra Luna, for example, people are calling for more regulatory certainty. Some countries have taken the lead on that, like Japan, like Hong Kong, like Europe with MiCA, for example. So another point which will be interesting to look at going forward in 2024. What will the landscape look like, and how can jurisdictions create more certainty around regulation, which will help in terms of onboarding as well as user acquisition in the future. Thank you. Driving the industry forward, these are positive things that we hope for 2024. Game improvements, that was also talked a lot about last year among projects and within the ecosystem, looking for AAA games, looking to make games better so that traditional users will want to engage with those games. And as we can see, this has shifted massively from 2021 from Axie Infinity and other such games which had play to earn mechanics, which has died away and is no longer seen as the main thing that will drive the industry forward. So yes, adoption by major traditional studios. We are seeing that, game improvements and adoption by major gaming franchises as points that will drive the industry forward. And these are obviously all the findings from within the survey. Great, thank you. Last point I thought to mention, because I thought this might be quite interesting for anyone who wants to enter the industry. This is a kind of idea of where people sit within the blockchain ecosystem. So within the blockchain gaming ecosystem, should I say, and within the survey, 43% being game studios, and as you can see the other figures for different verticals, I guess, like infrastructure, tooling, guilds, journalism and media. So this was the snapshot that we took of members who took part in the survey, those that thought they would continue working in the Web3 space in 2024. And that is pretty much it from me. I hope that gives a little bit of a overview of what we found in 2023. And please feel free to ask any questions if you have any.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thanks for sharing. It's really insightful. So I see that lots of professionals, they believe just 8% in 2023 believe that they were still working in blockchain gaming industry. It's less about 10% than the 2022. So do you think what's the reason that the 10% people they just don't believe they were still working on that? Yeah.
I think the industry has gained a lot of traction. I think from the very early days of Axie Infinity, for example, where people thought, wow, this is too good to be true, to a kind of decline, to gaming or Web3 gaming being the ultimate use case for blockchain and something that can be mass adopted. I think that's changed the status quo on that quite a lot. And I think even towards the end of 2023, we saw a lot of different projects, not particularly gaming, but infrastructure, tooling, or analytics, for example, which I haven't really touched on, who are looking at the Web3 gaming sector because they know that's where they'll onboard the most projects, and they know that that's one of the most vibrant areas of Web3. Sorry, I'm a little bit biased, but I think it is the next catalyst for mass adoption, and I think a lot of people are seeing that as well.
Okay, got you. Okay, I also saw that Wingo has some questions, right? You just press your hand. Yeah. Okay. For the moment, I'm sure there again.
Question. So I can think of one off the top of my head, which is Fashion League. I'm not sure they've released their game yet, but this is aimed at, I guess, young, I don't want to say young girls, but probably teenagers and a younger demographic. And it's they have avatars, and you can customize their wardrobes and change their clothes. So that's probably, and it's also a female-led project as well. So in terms of women in the industry, that's quite a good one. It's the only one I can think of that is totally aimed at women. But I think there are games that span the spectrum. For example, a game called My Neighbor Alice. And CZ was talking a lot about fully on-chain games. My Neighbor Alice is a fully on-chain game on the Chromia network. And this is a crafting game. So I think it's quite universal, I would say. These are just two that I can think of. There are some, I think it's something that the industry is working hard to redress, to have more female co-founders, more women sharing their input in the industry, and hopefully some more games that are geared towards females as well. You're welcome.
Interesting. So I also have another question because CK just shared about the full engine gaming, right? And so I wonder that how do you think of the just asset on chain gaming and full engine gaming? Do you think what about the future? Which part will take the majority of that? And do you think both type of the gaming?
Yeah,
Think
I,
about
I think I
that.
think it's a really interesting question, and I don't know if we're going to see one or the other. I think there will be projects that want to be fully on chain, and there are other projects that are going to pick and choose what they want to be on chain. A bit like how much do you incorporate blockchain? I think that depends on the project. Some people want to really veer towards the Web3 community. Others just want to create a great game for gamers. So I don't know. I'd love to see more fully on-chain games. Of course, I think there's loads of benefits to it, but I can also see that at this stage in the advancements of Web3, that there's still this kind of Web 2.5, to Web3. We're maybe still a little bit in that transition. But I think some games will also stay there. They might not want to be fully on-chain. So I think it will depend. I think it's a school of thought, basically. It depends what side you're on.
Yeah, that's true. It depends on what the goal the British want. They want to be more just like a game, or more like just like a blockchain character. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I see Wingo have another.
I'm not making my own game. There are people so much more creative than me that make like awesome games. But in terms of content creation, I work mainly on written content, so on research, reporting, and looking at the challenges. But yeah, I will leave the game making to the experts, although it looks super fun. Let me share that with you. I will share this with you now. It's the website, but you can also just scroll down a little bit and you will see the report itself. And there you've got lots of insights. We also interviewed a number of the survey respondents, so we have some quotes for them. It's very community based, or it's very people based. And we have some quotes from some of the top guys in the industry, like from YGG. Gabby is actually one of the original founders of the Blockchain Game Alliance, alongside Nicolas Pouillard from Ubisoft, one of the guys from Delphi Ventures, Nicolas from Ultra. So we've got some really cool guys, and Alexander from Sky Mavis. We've got some really cool guys who founded the BGA. And the president of the Blockchain Game Alliance is actually Sebastien Bourget from the Sandbox. So he leads our activities as well. He guides us. So we've got some great some great guidance. Just thought I'd throw that in there as well.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to have some more questions. If you guys don't have, I have another. The last question is about actually these days there are a lot of lots of games just emerge and just launch. So do you think what kinds of the game will take the majority of the industry? The mobile or FPS or RGB? Yeah.
I think mobile games will definitely be a massive catalyst for onboarding. I know games are still struggling slightly with policy around getting onto the Play Store or iOS, for example, and I think there's a lot of hope that that's going to open up this year. So I definitely, and this is just my personal opinion, that I think mobile games will be leading the way in terms of adoption. In terms of the games themselves, I think hyper casual games will, do very well. But then there are lots of great games out there, and I think it's very hard to say which genre of game will kind of take the lead.
Okay, got you, got you. So you said that you believe that the mobile game will lead the industry because it also does really well in the Web 2 industry, right? The mobile kind. So that's maybe it's similar to the Web 3 industry, right?
Yeah, exactly. And also, I think, because of the nature of blockchain games, or because of the potential nature to be able to earn in game currency and have asset ownership, there's a lot of interest from emerging markets in these types of games. And mobile, I think, is the biggest way to reach the widest audience, for um, people or places who may not have great infrastructure in terms of Wi-Fi or computer setup to be able to play games. I definitely think, most people have a mobile phone at least. So I definitely think that this will be the biggest way.
Okay, okay, okay. I found that I just misunderstood. I actually what I said is mobile, but I got you. It's mobile, right? Mobile, mobile.
Yeah, as in like phone. That's what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
meaning.
Mobile, but not mobile, right? Not mobile. Okay.
Ah, not MOBA. No, sorry. No, I misunderstood. Yes, I was talking about games on mobile phones.
Okay, I got you, got you. Okay, that makes sense. The mobile. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.